everybody, it's Myranda Love here with you, the CEO and founder of Ninja Growth Strategies. And I'm here with our guest today and our client, Tarek Murad, who is an action coach out of California. Tarek, welcome.
Hey, thank you. Welcome to you. Thank you.
Thank you for joining us today. And you're one of the top 100 business coaches on LinkedIn that we're working with in our Ninja Growth Accelerator program for business coaches. So if you could please, Tarek, just briefly tell us about your business and how you're helping people today.
So I'd like to start off by telling people that I bring out the best in people so they become the best versions of themselves. And I'm a business coach. I'm a personal growth coach also. And I've got into the business coaching because it's something that I like to do very much, and I like to make a big difference in people's lives. And in business coaching, as you work with the person, it's really all about them, not about the business.
Mm-hmm. That is so true. I mean, we can only go as far in our business as we can go in our lives as we allow ourselves to. So I definitely agree with that. I know that was something that you know, every bit of what we do has a little bit of personal development, you know, into it as well, since you're working. So are you working primarily then with business owners, or are you working now with, I know you were also doing some software engineer things. So you'll let us know a little bit about who specifically you're working with now.
So I work with two different kinds of clients. I'm looking for and work with business owners, people who own their own business. And I'm looking really at business owners who are relatively successful in what they're doing, and they're really needing to expand or to tweak things in their business to make it much better than it really is. And with those business owners, I do very well, and I kind of help them and coach them through that process and grow them. And inevitably, I handle their particular reason for being in the business. I really get into their why and into their values. And it's from there that I'd start discovering that a lot of people need that anyway, whether you're a business owner or you're just a successful employee or a successful software engineer or something like that. And in the valley that I'm in, I mean, I can't blink an eye or just turn my face, except I'm running into software engineer. I used to be one myself, right? So they're all over the place here. Of course, a lot of them here have equity in the company. They're, you know, shareholders and so things like that. And they are most of them, they get into a rut in terms of what they do, and all of a sudden they get promoted past the area of competence, and they don't like what's happening. And so that's what I'm trying to do now, is reach out to software engineers to help them really map out what they should be doing and really look at where their strengths are. Aside from the skills they've developed as a software engineer, there's still an inherent strength in everybody that's different than other people. And I try to dig that out from them and see what's really best for them to be doing. And some of them actually change their ideas about where they're going. Some of them were planning to go into management, and all of a sudden find that their strength really is to be the top technical expert instead of going to management. Others feel it's time that they started their own business. Others feel, you know, that's not for them anymore. They got the money out of it. They want to do something completely different.
Mm-hmm. That's awesome, the work that you're doing with your clients there. So how did you get into coaching?
Well, it was kind of, in a way, it was a little bit serendipitous, but in a way, in another way, it was kind of written all over the wall. So I have been an engineer for most of my career, and got into software engineering and did very well with that. And I was pretty quickly promoted to a manager, and I got into managing a team and then managing a quality assurance team. And in the managing of the quality assurance team, I was also dealing a lot with putting up processes for the company to do the work very well. And in doing that, I was interacting with a lot of people across the company, teaching them what the process is, you know, discussing with them what works, what doesn't work, so we can adjust and write different procedures and to get things done the best way. And in that, I found myself really, really comfortable with that. I did very, very well with that. And, you know, I'm very social that way, and I like to interact with people that way. So it was really, really, really good. And then I got promoted one more time to a level they tell you get promoted to the level of incompetence, right? And I got to a position of director of operational excellence. And once I got to that level, it became much more of a political game of, traveling between the offices we had and trying to convince other managers and other directors to do the right thing. And that did not work for me at all. It was really too difficult to get things going that way. I wasn't teaching anymore. I wasn't really helping directly anymore. I was more trying to put rules that managers should follow, and every manager wanted to do something completely different. So I ended up at that time taking personality profile test that the company offered me. And the guy that finished and coached me through it, he said, "Oh, what are you doing with this? You're a coach. It's coach written all over you." And it really dawned on me all of a sudden that, yes, this is what I really like to do. And at that point, I really, really started looking about getting into my own business, and finally decided to make the jump and take some of my savings, put it into this business, and get that going. And that was exactly 4 years ago now.
That was my next question. That was what I was about to ask. How long ago was that? So I know that you, I guess, what has been your biggest struggle, to starting your own business as a coach?
So when I first started, they told me, you have to be good at marketing. And I didn't quite believe that. And that was where the biggest struggle is to really get myself out there all over the place. And I did that through several different ways. And at first they told me I need to just do cold calls. And I tried that for all of a week. And I said, this doesn't work. I can't just be going down the list and just calling people. That just doesn't work at all. And so they told me about BNI. And it took me about a year to actually muster up the thinking about getting into a BNI, but finally got into it. That started making a difference for me. I'm in my second chapter now, and that has helped. I've also joined 2 or 3 other networking organizations, and also then started seriously looking at what my online marketing strategy is going to be. So one of the things was doing videos on Facebook, which I started, but I haven't really been able to continue on a regular basis because it really needs dedication to be on Facebook, putting a video out all the time to actually make a big difference. I see some people have done it, but I just haven't been able to do it on a regular basis. And the other thing I did, of course, was when I saw your program related to LinkedIn, I like that very much because here I'm talking to professionals directly and I'm not really jumping, and you can really target very, very well with this. So as I'm working through this with you right now, my initial step is looking at the software engineers in my area, because that's a really big target audience that I can work with. And I'm really trying to hone this very tightly for them. And my next step after this would be, it would be to look at business owners, directly business owners. But I'm really focused hard first on the software engineers right now.
Yeah, that's one of the beauties with LinkedIn is that you are able to very focus and target specifically who it is that you are wanting to help. And, later you can switch gears with that if you want to, but it is very easy to really, find the people. And then, with cleverly crafted messages, be able to get them to book appointments with you and get them on the phone with you and get them to become clients.
Yes, absolutely.
So you said they a couple of times, they told you to do cold calling. They told you to do Facebook Lives. They told you to do BNI. So who is they?
They was was action coach when I started working with them. That's the guidance they had given me was, you have to put together a 10 by 10 marketing plan, which basically means looking at 10 different ways to do marketing and try to hit it as much as possible throughout your week or throughout your month. And recognizing that some business comes from referrals, some business comes from networking, some business comes from cold calling, some business comes from email marketing, and so on. And so that's who they was. Some of these things work well, and some of them don't. And it really works based on who you are and where your strength is. Email marketing is not a bad idea, but you have to kind of craft all the emails and get them going. And today, of course, email marketing is a lot less effective because people don't really answer their emails or spend a lot of time on emails compared to, let's say, Instagram or Facebook Live or something like that. And people want short messages, very quick, to be able to get into the gist of what you're talking about. They don't want to be spending too much time with a long upfront narrative or discussion or something like that. But so that's one of the things I'm doing. Also to present seminars to people, free seminars, right? To get out there and do them. And I actually tried to do those also. The problem was to fill the room with people. It was not that easy. It takes effort, and it's not that simple.
Excuse me. Yeah, you are right. It does take a lot of, it is something that people think, okay, let me create this seminar, then let me pack the house, get people in it. And then the goal is to still provide them value in that seminar, of course, but then get them more interested in you as a coach and your products and your services. And if you're doing those one-off and not necessarily, have an automated way of continually, reaching new people or, driving traffic to it, then it's very hit or miss. Is that how you found it?
Yes, exactly. I've had the times I got 10 people in, and I've had times I got like 2. Mm-hmm. And the 10 people that I did get in, sometimes, in one case, one was a homeless man. He came for the food. Another case, I get people who are thinking of getting into business, who are not really, they don't have the money to invest in coaching, or they don't even know what they're going to do. And from an audience of 10, I may get one person who is really a possible prospect, but not really a client. Mm-hmm. So it wasn't quite the right thing for me to manage. I think social media is a bit easier way to do this than try to pack a house and then rent a hall and get the food and get the people and all that technology, all that logistics that don't really necessarily produce at this stage. Maybe if my name is well known later, it may be different.
And and it's all that energy and time and expense, like what you're saying, and it's just a one-time event. It's either you got it that time or you didn't. You still have to do it all over again the next week or the next month.
Correct.
And then without the targeting, that's one great thing we were talking about on LinkedIn is the targeting. You're able to be very specific about who shows up on your phone calls, who shows up in your webinar, which we do the automated webinars as well. It's not the wannabes or the homeless people or different things like that. That's just looking for the food as an example. It's the very specific targeted ones. So why did you go the action coach route, which is, if you'll explain to us a little bit about action coach and how that works and why you decided to go that route starting out?
Oh, that's a good question. So when this epiphany hit me that I'm really a coach, I was looking around online for for ways to start my own business. And I was looking at different kinds of ideas as franchises and any kind of ideas I could get my own business going and then actually earn money from that. And I happened to look around and I looked around a couple websites looking for franchises, and I looked at coaching, and Action Coach popped up to the top for some reason. And I immediately got in contact with a very, very, very good person that actually helped me through the process with what Action Coach was, and helped me set up the financing for it and everything and get that whole going. And I went with them. They had an excellent educational process that they went through, 10 days of a very intense training, and a lot of coaching along the way to make it go for me. So that's why I ended up with Action Coach. I'm still technically with them, but not really. Now, since I'm branching out with what I'm doing, I'm not really quite using everything that they have. I've added a lot of my own stuff into the picture now.
Yeah, no, I mean, you're not necessarily, representing yourself as an action coach. It is something that you have, but you have a lot of other tools, and help people, and as far as the strategies for getting clients. So would you say if there was somebody in your position where they were, currently at a job and they've decided now they want to be a coach, whether it's a personal coach or a business coach, so would you recommend that they take a franchise route like that, or just kind of go ahead and start doing things on their own?
That's a very good question. I have to say, with Action Coach, the education made a big difference for me because it gave me some structure to work with. If you just branch out on your own, then I would advise that you need to put a lot of content together first, and ideas of how you're going to do things, and presentations, and a whole bunch of these things, because you need to be able to pull them out of your hat very quickly. You can't be spending time every time a client comes crafting a whole new presentation for them. You have to kind of go very quickly with some tools that you have, some pre-prepared presentations, pre-prepared education that you can jump in with. So it depends on how long you've been doing it and what other resources you have at your hand. Mm-hmm. Action Coach is expensive, they're not cheap, but they're world-class. They're a world-class organization. They're really, really, really good. I can't say enough good about them in that sense. Their education is really, really very good. So yes, in a way, and they've changed their financial models. They've changed recently than what I started with. So there's better deals now than what I had when I first went in. Mm-hmm. But I definitely think their education is outstanding. At least the packages they give you to get started with, and I have enough tools to actually jump in. And now I add my own presentations and so on. But I'm not pressured to add them right on the spot because I have enough from other presentations and things I can work with.
Mm-hmm. You've accumulated them, and because you were a new coach, kind of specifically doing something very different. So I can imagine, like me, for example, I asked to coach as a business coach because I've been using the strategies that I use and now teach for LinkedIn and email marketing, and specifically the targeting and copywriting and getting people on the phone and to do business with me, and to grow businesses that way. Just simply by doing it, I'd learned from others and, things like that. I'd learned from others along the way, but by doing it. So I could say if somebody had, like, they're currently in a position right now and what it is that they're wanting to now help as a coach, what they've been doing for 20 years, it's a system. If they have a way of helping people, then going with a franchise like that might be optional.
Yes, absolutely. You're right. I mean, the thing for me is with the business coaching, I'm really talking about business coaching across a facet of the whole business, across the whole thing of the business. So it's not just one strategy or one set of strategies, let's say, towards marketing, mm-hmm. but I'm looking at the whole thing of what makes a business successful as a whole. So we're talking here about the goals of the business, so the goals of the owner. Are they aligned with each other? We're talking about them looking at their numbers on a regular basis, what KPIs they're looking at. We're talking about how they spend their time. We're talking about how they service their clients. We're talking about who the target client is and how to focus on the target client. We're talking about how to leverage and build systems together. We're talking about how to hire the best people. So it's a lot of different things that you're talking about. It's not just, I mean, yours is a lot more niche specified with a particular strategy for LinkedIn, which is awesome. It's great. And you need very focused strategies like this too. But at the same time, if I'm going to service different kinds of businesses, mm-hmm. I need to be able to shape my coaching for them in a particular way related to all the pieces of their business, not just one side of the business. Mm-hmm. And I'm looking actually at longer term contracts, right? I'm looking at to be their coach for 2 or 3 years, not just for a few weeks. Mm-hmm. From the business perspective. From the personal perspective, it's a different story.
Personal perspective, a little bit different. Yeah, that's some of the work that we've been doing with you in the program, is to help you kind of be a little bit more defined of who it is, that type of business that you're helping, and kind of what area it is that you're helping. But a lot of people do just really love that full cycle, and they also like to just work with the same client for a long time. My way of thinking is, honestly, my clients, they should outgrow me. They should need other things. Like, I don't want to still be working with the same coach, or me, helping the same people for multiple years. I really think that there's so much knowledge that I'm very specific in who it is that I help. I can help anybody get leads and clients and sales, doing a variety of different ways, but I've found that, my strategies work great for business coaches. And I love working with the business coaches, a lot better. And it's fun for me to do that and help get y'all up and going. So about that, what like some of the specific things that I know that we've helped you with, like on LinkedIn. So about how many new targeted leads have you gotten on there, or targeted connections using our system?
I think I've doubled. I started off with just over 1,000 connections on LinkedIn, and I believe I'm very close to 2,000 right now. So I've almost doubled, if maybe I've probably doubled right now. Mm-hmm. And I have a lot more targeted people in there. I definitely have a lot more software engineers in my connection now. Mm-hmm. And I don't have, and the random ones I had before from other companies and people I knew, they're still there, of course. But now I can actually focus on those software engineers really full time. And my belief is, even if I don't get them the first try, as I keep marketing to them, eventually will pop up. Of course, I do get occasionally the nasty comment back, say, wow, I don't believe you just connected with me just for this or something like that. But that's okay.
Yeah. Whenever you do it in a certain way, it's like, hey, we're having great success, or we're doing this. We're helping other people just like you achieve X, Y, and Z. Curious if we can help you too. Curious if this will work for you. And if you do it in a way like that, it's just piquing their curiosity and letting them know that this is an option. It's not buy for me, buy for me, buy for me, or I'm the greatest person in the world. That's not the languages and message that we're using. I know we've been working with you a little bit on the messaging, because you were kind of wanting to do some of your own things for a little bit, but we're getting that, have the templates and things like that we help you with. So you did get a client from LinkedIn already, right?
Yes, I did. I was really happy about that. He started with me, and I'm really, really glad I did it this way. I helped him a little bit by splitting up his payment into 2 payments. And I started him off. I start off by telling him it's 4K. Mm-hmm. And then I told him, if you take action now, it'll be 3K, and I can split it up in 2 payments for you. And that worked pretty well. And but I've also got from you the education to actually start off at 6K, to give the value, to keep the value reasonably high there, to make sure that people understand it is a lot of value. And I'm actually beginning to see resonance with that people say, oh, that makes sense that we pay that much, because it is worth it. It definitely is worth it.
It is totally worth it. If you've got somebody, like you were saying in your case, where, a software engineer that's very technical, and then they're thinking that, they're on this path, and now they become a manager, and they're really hating life, and they're hating themselves, and, who knows how bad that can spiral. And then you help them get that more fulfilling life by, making some little key changes.
Right.
That goes on for the rest of their life, whether it's helping them make more money or helping them just have more fulfilling life. I mean, that value is, you can't really put a price on it.
That's true.
But it is more than just, a couple $100 or something like that, really helps them, for them to come in and show up and get the results. So you were originally charging a lot less than what you're currently charging too, whenever you first came in.
Yeah, I was charging $1,500. Mm-hmm. And for a 6-week session. So I've now made it 3,000 for an 8-week session.
Okay. Was that difficult for you asking for that price the first time, knowing that you had been doing it the other way?
No, it wasn't really as bad as I thought it would be, because I've sold at 1,500, and with some discounts at 1,200. Quite a few packages already before. Mm-hmm. So that I was feeling very confident with what I could deliver for that money. So it was not very difficult for me to actually push it up. I felt confident doing that, because it is worth it. It makes a big difference.
Well, good. Yeah, it is a big difference. It lets them have to see the value and take it more serious as
Yeah.
well. So how did we connect? I mean, we didn't go to school together, or we didn't hobnobs at a BNI or anything like that.
Uh, how did we connect? I think it was Facebook that I saw your comment with somebody else or something like that. I don't really remember.
Okay. Well, usually it's LinkedIn. Usually it's people find, but occasionally, I do have my public Facebook page, and I share things on there. And sometimes I do things, but we're very automated in our targeting, and even Action Coach, because I know I've been doing some targeting specifically for that. So we're very specific with who we targeted. So it was probably originally, something that I'd done through LinkedIn, and then we connected.
I do see on your LinkedIn connections with some of the action coaches that I know personally. So I thought that was very interesting. But I really do think I got in touch with you I saw you at least, excuse me, through Facebook first. But I don't really remember. I really
But something in my messaging, that's what it's about, is the cleverly crafted messages. I usually invite people to a webinar class that I have, how to make your first 6 figures as a business coach this year using LinkedIn. So it might have been something like that, and I invited you to that, and then invited you to book a call, which is the exact same process that we're helping you implement as well, and that works well for us as it does as for other business coaches or clients as well. So most of them you do usually come from LinkedIn, but I do some things here and there on Facebook. So what would you say would be, now that you've been in the program and you have already had some success and you're growing your network and you've increased your rates, so what would you say would be some of the 3 biggest areas that we've helped you with so far?
So definitely messaging in terms of how to reach out on LinkedIn, that's really a big help. The whole automation aspect of this whole thing is really, really awesome. When it works, I have to say that, because the tool sometimes really misbehaves and sometimes LinkedIn also misbehaves, and it's so I haven't really had generally every week I have enough flow to actually get to start seeing people connect with me and get the message and get back to me and start messaging me back and talking. So I think that's really been very, very helpful. At least the tool allows me to get started with people that who have any interest at all. Then I can actually take over and start texting them directly instead of through the automation. Mm-hmm. So that's one thing I think that's really, really good. I think the other thing is is my LinkedIn profile that I've updated the LinkedIn profile now more in line with what you guided us to. That has helped also. Now people look at it and say, "Oh, you're a coach. What kind of coaching do you do?" Immediately I start getting things like that, which is even before they even ask for anything else, they start texting me back that way. I know the next thing that I will benefit from for sure will be the automated webinar. If I can get my behind in gear here and get it done. But that I know is going to make a big difference for me. I know I can do a very good job on the webinar because I have a lot of material to talk with, but I really just have to get the whole thing put together and get it moving. Once I get that in place, I think that will help also quite a bit.
Yeah, I'm excited to get that going for you as well. It's always great whenever, in the initial stages that we do, whenever our clients, they start growing themselves very quickly with targeted leads, very specific targeted leads. We help them create their client attraction offer. You've skipped over a couple little steps here and there, but typically their client attraction offer that makes it easy for their prospects to say yes on the phone call and want to go ahead and get started with them. And then that initial client attraction message that we also usually help our clients with. And just from that, in the first 3 or 4 weeks, our clients will at least be growing themselves, but a lot of them do. They're on the phone with their target client prospects, and then they will get clients even before we get the webinar going. But I do love the webinar. That's what's been really great for me, and it's been really great for a lot of our clients as well, is having that seminar like what you were talking about that is structured in a way, I call it the one piece of killer content authority formula, that you do it in the way that we help our clients do using our formula. It positions you as the expert that they need, not, the action coach down the street or any other, business coach or personal development coach or something like that. It really, identifies them that they've got a problem, you've got a solution, you've got a way of helping them, and you're the one.
Yes.
That they want to work with. So I'm super excited to get that going for you as well. So I guess I just wanted to know, like, how overall, we talked a little bit about the program, but how has it been in general working with me?
Actually, you're a bundle of energy. I really enjoy your enthusiasm and the power that you bring to this very, very much. And I do learn a lot from what you teach. And I really like it very much. The only little thing I would like to say is that the tools are changing so much. Your website needs to catch up a little bit. And if I may offer one piece of little thing that would help me a lot, is you could if you could cut up your videos on the site to shorter segments, because for the webinar thing, it's a 2-hour video. And I'm having a lot of trouble getting through that because, I started, I get about half an hour in, I have to get something else done. And then when I come back again, I have to kind of space back through again to see where I need to pick it up again. But it would help a lot if they were just kind of divided up into slightly shorter segments. That would be a little bit easier to digest at one sitting.
Well, good. I appreciate that. I know that is some of the things. We actually were just doing some updates for the tool. You're right. That tool does change a lot, and your LinkedIn changes a lot and things like that. But the basic strategy that we use is still the same,
I love the strategy. I absolutely love it. And I love the way you laid it out in the website and show us how to go through it. I just really, really like it. I like the fact that you take us by hand and just go develop this, then develop this, then develop this, and just go through the whole process. It really makes a lot of difference. It really does. And I appreciate that. I signed up with another coach earlier, a year and a half ago, with something else I was doing. And one of the things they gave me was something called the 7-figure sales script. And it follows a lot from what you have in your sales process that you go through, of asking the questions that are painful, that keep bringing out the pain and what's not happening with their lives and so on. So what I did is I took the structure that I had in that other one, and I took the questions that you put in yours, in your ideas, and I put them together. What I do now is I have a document that I print out before I talk with anybody. As I get on the phone with them, I just print out the whole document, and I use it as my guide in terms of asking the questions. And I stick with pushing the pain points over and over and over again until they say, yes, 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 yes.
Has that been successful for you? I know
it is successful. Absolutely. It makes a big difference in how you position yourself and how you, and one of the things I do with it, by the way, is also, it's a takeaway, right? So I offer and I show them, I say, but this is not really for everybody, right? And I let them say, no, it's me. I want to be in there, right? So I've learned what this is like, and as long as I'm honest with myself that I can really help the person, then I'm okay with what I'm doing. One of the things I got taught early on was don't be attached to the outcome of the session. Be attached to getting an accurate diagnosis of the situation. So if the person is not going to be a good fit, I need to tell him, I'm sorry, I cannot work with you. And it's that willingness to walk away that is really more important, because if you have that confidence to walk away, then the rest of it comes natural. It becomes easier. The person understands, yes, you can help them, or very, very clearly.
Yeah, definitely. Showing up with integrity is, only offering it to people who that you can help. And the goal, as we say, of that call is to get to the truth. Yes. And whenever you get to the truth, where you know the truth, they know the truth, because we have different levels where we kid ourselves, of what's going on, and where you really get to the truth and kind of shine some light on it. And then if the best step and your recommendation is for them your next best step is to enroll in your program, then you also, out of integrity, you owe it to them and to you to let them know that. and to
Yeah.
present. But if the next best step is for them to maybe read a book or to work with somebody else or something like that, then again, the same thing is you owe them out of integrity to them and to yourself as to that's what it is and your best advice that you recommend for them to do.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Well, good. I know one of the things when we first started out, it's been a little bit, but the mission statement was something that we kind of help you craft. Is like how you're doing the things that you're doing it and why. I know it's similar to some other exercises that people have done, but that's something that a lot of people, especially coaches that have even been at it for a while, they really do appreciate that mission statement and the way that we help them structure things. How did you find it?
Myranda, just so you know, as I'm looking at you here, if I just raise my eye just a little bit on my wall here, my mission statement is right in front of me. It's there with my 3 values and my why. I keep that in front of me all the time, and it's just part of what I come in here every morning in the office. I set my computer up. It's the first thing I see in front of me, and it kind of sets my day the right way.
That's great. It means a lot to me to hear you say that. And I know always, like, because you had all these other materials, like you were saying with Action Coach or other stuff, but that you come in here and you really find that's value and helps to keep you guided on the work and making sure that you're operating from integrity as well in the work that you do for your clients. So that is awesome. So if there are other business coaches that are out there, either they're currently in their position right now, they're currently maybe working, they're experts, and they're wanting to start their own business as you did, 4 years ago. They're looking to transition into coaching or helping other executives or professionals. Would you recommend that they reach out to me and Ninja Growth Strategies to help them get started?
Oh, without hesitation. I definitely will do that. In the BNI that I attend, by the way, that's why I'm always late on the calls, because I just come off the BNI and I'm part of the leadership team. So sometimes we have a session out right after the BNI, but I will definitely be recommending you through the BNI that I have, because I can see where it will help a lot of people. Not everybody there will benefit from this, but at least some of the people who are reaching out to others in either a business coaching strategy, a business coaching method, or other kind of services that help people directly through a growth of some sort, right? So I think I can definitely push in that direction.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. That is definitely good to hear. I know a lot of them. It's interesting to me. You picked and choose here and there, but most of our clients do stop BNI whenever they come in, because they're getting so much more results in the 15 minutes a day or so. With the systems, once we have their messages dialed in and we have their automated webinar and we're targeting new people, most of them do find that this system is.
So most likely for me is I'm hoping by January things are moving pretty well with this. Once this thing takes off for me, I will probably stop the other networking I'm doing and just stick with BNI and this. The reason I like BNI is there is a certain level. Not every BNI is the same, right? And if you're in with a group of people that are really, really good, there is a definite power to the connection that you have there, because there's a constant set of referrals back and forth between you. The one I'm in right now, I really like the people in there. They like me very much. So that's why I don't want to give it up. And I like it because it's in the middle of the day too. So it sets off my Thursday. My Thursday is my networking day. So I do something a little bit earlier in the day, some work that I have to do. But then what I do is I usually set up a meeting before the BNI and a meeting after the BNI. Except now I don't do it after BNI, but generally after BNI. And that way it's a networking day. For me, it's just a networking day. And it's a day in which I either teach somebody something, or they teach me something, or we kind of do something together and grow a strategy or a friendship that benefits long term.
Yeah, that is so interesting, all that networking. And that is something that, I don't do any networking at all. I don't. I do. I'm very specific. All my clients come from using my strategies on LinkedIn. Now, I do go to events and conferences and retreats and masterminds and things like that, but it's really for my own just personal connection. And I do get clients from that, because people then eventually ask me, what are you doing? Oh, how are you doing that? And I do, but it's not necessarily from a network capacity, because I get all of my clients come automatically to me from LinkedIn.
Well, I may get to that point. So we'll see.
Yeah, let's get focused and implement these few little the little bits and pieces of the puzzle that we need to get dialed in for you, so that way you can start receiving the really big results. But I am glad that you have gotten a client already, and you've already gotten over 1,000 new targeted people, and that is one of the things. Like, whenever you were wanting to do two different offers, still that's something a little bit with the business coaches and the personal development. That's something a little bit different, that sometimes people still want to do that can distract a little bit from their success. But
No. I need to dial it in very, very well with LinkedIn on just the personal development right now, until I understand how that works fully, before I add anything else. And I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to push it that way. That's why I'm still really doing the BNI, because I can get my business coaching side from that.
So you're still trying to do more than one target, one offer. So, which is, a little bit different than what we teach, but whatever's working for you. And I know that it's been great to get a chance to, to work with you, and you have I just love your passion for helping others and your reasons why as well, and how great it's been to have you in our network of other business coaches. And everybody there loves you as well, for sure.
Appreciate that very much.
So where can we find you, Tarek? If you want to just let us know, maybe if you want to spell out your name for us so we can find you on LinkedIn or your website, or where can people who are interested in working with you reach out?
Well, I'm on Facebook for sure, and my LinkedIn and Facebook, of course. So my Facebook is actioncoach.tarek, Tarek. So that you can get me on Facebook that way. And on LinkedIn, you can just find me as Tarek M. Murad as a link if you go for my LinkedIn that way. And I should be available, and as you can reach out to me either way. I'd be more than happy to talk with you.
Awesome. Well, good. That's great. And I do appreciate you for being here. And just wanted to let everybody out there know, if you are interested in, taking your business online, either you're an existing business coach or consultant, and you're wanting to structure into more of a group program, or you're wanting to get more specific targeted leads, clients, and sales, and usually increase your prices as well. Those are some of the results that we have our clients do, and really a systematic way. Then I would invite for you to go to my website and check out my free web class that I have. It's at ninjagrowthstrategies.com, and that is how to make your first 6 figures this year as a business coach using LinkedIn. And that is whether you want to reach out with me or not. Definitely, people find a lot of value from that web class. Either if you're existing coach, as I was saying, or consultant, or you're considering being one. It's a lot of great value there that other people have been using. And that is at ninjagrowthstrategies.com. And if you know that you want to speak with us, you're ready to have your coaching business breakthrough, then I would invite you to go ahead and schedule a free call with us. We have that at ninjagrowthstrategies.com/growth. And once again, that's ninjagrowthstrategies.com/growth. And that'll be about a 45-minute free coaching business breakthrough call, where we'll help to see what's going on in your business, what's working for you and what isn't, and map out the next steps to get you to where it is that you want to go. And that again is at ninjagrowthstrategies.com/growth. And I want to thank again my guest here today, our business coaching client, Tarek Murad. Thank you for being here with us.
Thank you so much for this.
Murad.
No problem.
We were getting a lesson before this and making sure, but Myranda, as soon as I said it, I'm like, oh. And well, you're welcome, and thank you. And once again, my name is Myranda Love with Ninja Growth Strategies, and we will talk soon. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.